Hello. So I have to. Sorry, I haven't been on in a while. I'll continue my series of videos soon. I've just been so busy. I'm actually working on this project here. It's a school. So let me just turn off the. I don't need all this stuff on. So let me just turn off some of this stuff. Sorry. So cladding, actually I have it on as decking, right? So decking, roof, decking, second floor. Let's turn that off and let's activate this box here. We can get down to our anchors. We can probably turn off some of the walls. So let's turn off the supporting walls and the concrete walls, and then we're left with this, right? So I have some cameras here. If I turn them back on, you can see them. So I have some cameras at anchors, so you can see at these two anchors here. So I'm going to work on these two first for my details, and then I can update the other ones later. So I don't have them all connected, I don't believe. So what I'm trying to achieve is this here. Let me get back to the detail on the PDF. Alright, so here it is. So I'm attempting to work on this here. Sorry, I'm just taking a screenshot on the other page and I'll bring it over. So on the one that doesn't have a pier, we're gonna have a plate and a couple of bolts, as you can see down here. So let me just mark it so we can see here. So we're going to do these ones. It doesn't give a length, it just gives a 4-inch clear at the bottom. And then on this other one, we can see here's our anchors here, right? And these ones are going to be 24 inches long, and they're headed anchors. Now, the problem I have with this is it's 24-inch embed, right? So you want a headed anchor. And I also like to have my anchors sticking out at the top, so I usually create a new extended anchor. So I have these the wrong way around. So what I'll do is, so what I've done here is this is connected to this here, and then I just added the leveling plate below. Now, there's kind of weird ways of doing this. I haven't quite figured out what I like the best. So the only problem is you need this to be attached to this in order for them to put it on site. Also, they have the leveling plate in high, which doesn't make any sense. That leveling plate should be down at the bottom of this grout, right? So if you can see on the screenshot, they're showing the leveling plate right here. So we'd need another nut there if we wanted to do that. So, nut in a washer. So generally we don't use the leveling plates, really. What I used to do in the past is we'd put the leveling plates level with the top of pier or the top of foot in here, and then you just shim in between, and then they grow out in between. So let me continue anyway. It's just about the anchors, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the properties of this over to this one. So I'm going to select this, come up here to transfer properties, and there, it's transferred the properties. Right, so I want the long one in here with the headed anchor. So this is it. So if I go into the macro here, advanced joint properties, we can see what type of anchor this is. So let's go to base plate, anchors and holes. You can see it's 3/4 inch, so it's the right size. But I also have a long one. But the problem is I like to have the top extended as much as I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and create my own one. So I'm going to go to management tools. I'm going to go to defaults. Sorry, I'm not going to go to defaults. I'm going to go to anchors. And let me see, we're going to scroll down to headed anchors. Now you can see I have other ones here created for extended. So what I'm going to do is right click and duplicate, and enter the name. I'm going to call it US headed anchors extended. Apply. And now I've created another one with the same name. It's just appeared there now. And here it is right below it. And it's got all these same values in here. Now, I want to do the 3/4 inch one. So let's go to our 3/4. Now, you can see here, if you go to like, I think it's 5/8. There's two 5/8, right? So there's this 5/8. And then there's another 5/8. Just make sure you do the right one, because one of them is actually the metric one, and it's converted it. So you can see this is the imperial one, and if you go to the other one, it's the metric one. So just make sure you don't edit the wrong one. There's only 1 3/4 usually. So when we come in here, we can see the thread length is 4 inches at the top. The top distance is 1. So I want these to be extended. So what we'll do is we'll just do the ones we want first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the thread length on this to 6. And I'm going to extend the top distance to, actually, sorry, I want to do 3 for the top distance. And I'm going to leave the anchor the same length. So then it's going to be sticking out 3 inches above the plate. So I'm going to have 2 foot or more into the concrete. So, and I'm going to go here, extended anchor, headed anchor extended. Now I'll want to go back and do all these at a later stage, but for right now we'll just continue. So I'll just apply that. Now if you check if it's something else, you also need to do it by set. Now this one only has a nut and a washer set, and that's what I want. But you'd have to go in and change this set first, and then go back and do this. Because these are all individual of whether it's 2 nuts and a washer or a nut and a washer. So you have to do quite a bit of changing if you want it to work with all your anchors. So let's apply that change. And now we'll go back to the anchor. We want to update our defaults. Let's double click on this anchor, and that's not going to work for us, right, because it's inside in the joint box. So let's go into the joint. Then we want to go to our base plate, anchors. Now we can see the new one we created is here, US headed anchor extended, and you can see it automatically went to the one that I had set up. So I don't have any other ones. And you can see the name is right, the length is right, and that looks good. Now you may have to go in and create another one. So what we can do is, I'll do it now just to show you, I guess. So if we go back into our anchors here, let's say we want to have it where we can control the leveling plate. So we'll need another nut and a washer underneath this. So what you need to do is you need to come back into your set. So what I would do generally is I'll take a screenshot of this. New. So I'll take a screenshot of this. Screen grab. And just move that to one side. And then I'll come in here and go to set. And I'm going to do... So 2 nuts and 2 washers, and you can see it's showing there's 2. So this means the previous one I copied already had the 2 nuts and 2 washers, so I don't have to create it. And it also has these values, but you can see because I've changed, this has also changed. Because there's an extra nut and a washer, it's given me an extra 5 inches of thread. So I'm going to make that... Did I do the last time? 6. I added 2 inches. So I'm going to do 7. And I'm going to change this to 3. Now, as I say, you really should spend the time to do them all the one time you're in here. But I don't have time right now, so I'm not going to do that. And then I'm also going to change this to extended. These also all need to be changed. And apply. Now, I should have showed you that this was not available to me. So let's see if I advanced joint properties. Let's go back in. Base plate, anchor and holes. Now, let's see if I go to nut and two washer. This should not be extended because I haven't updated the defaults yet. So you can see it's 2 nuts and 2 washers, but it's not extended. So if I switch back, so I'm going to switch right back to what I was at, which was nut and washer. That's extended. Now if I update the defaults, this should now come in as an extended one because I only just updated. Base plate, anchor holes, and extended anchors. Sorry, yeah, sorry, here 2 nuts, 2 washers, and you can see it has stayed extended. Now you can also see that my nut and my washer are the wrong way around. So I do this all the time. I don't know how I manage to do this all the time. I always manage to see. So we want to go to set, and then washer, up, apply, down, and then update, and then back in here, advanced joint properties, go back to base plates, anchors, and let's change it back, and then change it back again. And there, now your washer's on the top. So the behavior in here is pretty obvious. I mean, it's guessing, it's saying the plate's in here, and then your bottom of the anchor is here. So the nut's on the top, and then the washer, and then the plate, and then another washer, and then a nut. So I don't know why I keep getting it wrong, but anyway, that's just me, I guess. So that's that one. So now I've created that. Now I can create whatever length I want. If you want to create another one that's 3 foot long, keep in mind that if I come in here and add one that's 3 foot long, it's only good for the one with 2 nuts and 2 washers. If you change the set back to nut and washer, then you're going to have to do that again. So, you know, if you want to, let me just create it. It takes a second, but if you want to come in here, you can copy the values as well like this, but it's almost as quick to just, it's almost as quick to type it when there's 16ths and stuff. It's 1/17. So always try and work off something that's there already, otherwise you're going to get really confused. And if you put this in as 0, it should come up as a round anchor. So what I do here is I basically just guess. Probably not the right thing to do. You can go and get the specs, but you can see for 6 inches it moves up about 12 ounces. So 16 ounces, right? A pound. So it's going to be 4 pounds, and I guess about 12 ounces. So 4 is 8. So I'll do 8, and I'll just do 8 ounces. Now I should really look it up, right? So I'm not looking it up right now. And then we're going to copy this one, copy, paste. All right, and then we're going to change this value to 36 because it's a 3 foot one, and then we're going to apply that. Now let's go back and check our set. Your set shows 2 nuts and 2 washers. Okay, and we have it here. If we go back to our set and we check here and we do nut and washer. Where is nut and washer? Nut and washer. And then if we go back to our parameters, we can see that 3 foot one is gone. Go back to the set, 2 nuts, 2 washers. You can see that there it is again. And we can prove that by going to our model, updating our defaults. So anchors can take a while because you have to change a lot of stuff, but once it's changed and you've created it, then you're good to go. So headed anchors. So let's see, we're 2 nuts, 2 washers. So let's see what lengths are available. We can go to a 3-foot length, or we can go back to 2'6", and then we can change. Now if I leave it at, let's see what happens when I leave it at 3 feet. If I go nut and washer, it goes back to a different size because that size is not available. So I hope that helps you kind of understand how the anchors work. So what I usually do is, if it's a small job like this where there's not that many columns, a lot of stuff's wall bearing here, what I'll do is I'll just create, for the drawing purpose, so it's this probably not the right thing to do. I'll create this for drawing purposes like this, and then I'll just copy one out over here and I'll put it with the anchors. So I usually will explode it, but let's see what happens if I do this. Now this is the actual job I'm working on. The approvals are supposed to go in for the second time around today, so right, so the anchors are not available there. So let's see if I can change these holes, change into anchors, and I'm on concrete slabs up here, so that's coming wrong. So standard, and let's see if we can match properties of this to this. Yes, we can. And there, then that can be your bolt cage, right? So you can set all these to the behavior of not used for parts and stuff like that if you want. A couple of different ways to do it, but there's no really simple way to do it. But that could be your bolt cage there, right? And the other one is going to be an extended anchor with a plate on the bottom of it. So I won't bother doing that because it's the same procedure, but I don't want to make this video super long. I hope this helps you understand anchors a little better and how to edit them. And just make sure to back up all your databases, so you will have them if you want to switch it to your other computer, or if you change too many things. Alright, so do a little screen grab like that, so if you lose some of your stuff, you can also fill it back in again. Alright, hope the video helps. Thank you, take care.